Now, we'll talk about more earnings, and starting from back home here in Nigeria, where May & Baker PLC has released its half-year financial report for 2018, showing a better-than-expected result compared to its last performance. According to the company's unaudited results for the period, profit before tax rose by 178.76% to 388.9 million naira compared to 139.51 million naira in the same period of 2017. At the same time, the company's profit after tax also jumped by 178.78% to 264.45 million naira from 94.86 million, while earnings per share increased from 9.68 or 9 naira 68 kobo to 26 naira 98 kobo. And it's the first trading day for the week, and the closing gong will be sounded in less than an hour. Well, earlier on, the Nigeria's all-share index was looking positive at intraday, but let's find out if that has changed. And Channel's business editor, Bosun Omofaye, is live on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange to tell us what's happening at the moment. Bosun, what's the market looking like, and what direction are we likely to see the main index at the end of today's session?
Well, BC is looking like you just talked about the earnings from Zenith Bank. That is the big story that the market is taking in as we speak. Right now, we've seen more than 5 million ordinary shares of Zenith Bank already traded. That stock has climbed 16 kobo on the news of better than expected numbers. You talk about the earnings per share that was a beta for the street. 2 naira 60 kobo per share against 2 naira 40 kobo reported in the same second quarter of last year. And that's what you call the icing on the cake is the interim cash dividend of 30 kobo that Zenith Bank will pay to shareholders on the 24th of August. That is the story that is rallying the share price of this particular tier 1 lender. But of course, there are a few other smaller earnings that we find on the market today. Veritas Capital Assurance reported its full year 2017. This is a late filing to the market. Veritas Capital Assurance, very small company, reporting a 2.3 billion naira gross premium for the full year ended December 2017, but it reported a net loss of 862 million naira for the period. So that is one small earnings that the market will most likely ignore. If you look at the broader market, and you can see, of course, that's not just the ticker tape is going to come very soon, and you're going to see the numbers. But a few minutes ago, we've done more than 120 million shares on the market. So for today, 1.535 billion naira. In terms of deals, we've done close to 2,000 transactions, 1,700, and that figure is still climbing as we look at the closing gong in about 30-35 minutes from now. If you look at another big story is the ETI, that's Ecobank Transnational Incorporated. That company is seeing a share price up 90 kobo today to 22 naira per share. And the reason was simple. Fitch Ratings today affirms Ecobank Transnational B rating, according to what we just got, long-term issuer default, what we call the IDR rating, for Ecobank Transnational listed in Lagos, Abidjan, and Accra stock exchanges. That stock has climbed 90 kobo, as you heard, and this outlook for this particular bank is stable. So that's the top story. So if you see the share price of Ecobank Transnational climbing today because Fitch Ratings affirms this Pan-African lender's stable outlook, affirm its IDR at a B. But it's a very quiet day if you look at the Naira bonds listed here on the market. Back into equities, 40 oil share price up about 15 kobo to 23.55 when we saw the market intraday. Oando, another integrated energy trader, share price 10 kobo to the north, 5 naira 70 when the market is still on. If you look at smaller companies where you find some of the gainers today, you find Champion Breweries, a very small brewer, listed here on our market, up by less than 10 kobo. And the share price is around 1.97 naira as we speak. Now, some of these numbers you'll be seeing for the rest of the day. We still have about 30 minutes. Of course, you know, the market is much stronger at this spot in time. BC, back to you.
Thanks very much, Channels Business Editor Bolson Omofai, for bringing those updates live from the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. In other news now, a $200 million Nigerian Content Intervention Fund was launched about this time last year by the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board, as well as the Bank of Industry. The pool of funds aims to provide credit facilities to Nigerian companies involved in manufacturing within the oil and gas industry. While accelerating plans for the disbursement of the fund, the NCDMB's General Manager for Finance and Accounts, Mr. Obi Naufili, explains how the fund will operate.
Maximum obligor limit is for manufacturing and asset acquisitions, because we looked at what is the product on offer and what is the possible amount that may be required by these projects, and then in setting the limit. Then the maximum single obligor limit for contract finance is $5 million, while the maximum single obligor limit for loan refinancing is $2 million. It's also very clear in making loan refinancing $2 million, because we don't want to set up a fund where people will come, all existing loans will come and carry the 200 millions and move it over. At the end of the day, we may not achieve so much mileage from that loan. So while trying to assist refinance some loans that are already existing but suffering from huge capital burden, which will ultimately somehow energize them to increase their level of activity, we also want angel projects, new fresh projects to come in and trigger, being a catalyst, like the director talked about, catalyst for industrialization of Nigeria. So we also want new businesses to come in, have access to finance, and be able to assist, trigger, enhance the industrialization of the country. Then the single obligor limit for indigenous, the community contractors is pegged at 20 million naira. We also realize that one of the problems of the stakeholders is that to access a loan, we realize that there is so much dribbling that was taking place. Sometimes to access a loan, it will take them up to 9 months from the day that they apply. So we now said, no, let us work at it. What are the steps with regard to assessing this loan?
And finally, on the program, oil prices are firmer today after, on the back of surprising drop in Saudi crude production in July, while American shale drilling appears to be declining. Markets also anticipated an announcement from U.S. Treasury official in Washington due later today that renewed sanctions against major oil exporter Iran will be reinstated on Tuesday. Well, spot Brent crude oil futures were trading at $73.23 per barrel earlier, and that's up 2 cents from their last close, while U.S. crude futures rose 0.2% to $68.64 per barrel. And that's our show today. Thank you for watching. I am BC Adibayo.